Hey guys, Thomas the Slowly Jr. here, aka Mustached, and welcome back to some more Galaxy Albion. Oh boy, it's been a while. Mythos looks up when he is addressed. I saw a long time on a piece of paper. Yes, this is the first spiritual contact with her. It was the most beautiful moment. I love her. Let's see what she has to say. Mythos and I have had a beautiful time here. Would you like us to join you again, Tom? Hell yeah. A little excitement will do me and Mythos some good after our rest. Wait, what? Oh, I believe there are too many of you to allow me to join Mythos to join till later. Oh. God damn it. Well, time to get the fuck out of here. I wish there was it's much like the item thing that I do have an issue with. That being like how the stores don't replenish the stock when you revisit these locations. I'd very much like when you're forming a party, when you get up to that 6 mark, that you could just, leave one of your people there. So this bearded guy that I co-opted into my group, I could just leave him there and bring those 2 back, because those 2 are leveled up. It'd be nice, but I can't do it right now, so I'm just going to progress the story. It's always unfortunate, these little knacks that hit against this game, because I do think that the story is neat. And I do think that the fast travel within the cities is appreciated. There are definitely things that hold it back, like what I've been talking about with the store and some of it. The combat I don't mind as much. You kind of just... It is sort of left to more chance that is mitigated over time. And with your levels. And that the level of escalation I noticed was something I also was noting on too, of the sandworms, for example. And that's just something that I think more current games, sometimes they ease it too far to one direction, or they leave it too difficult in the other direction. It is a lot. It's something that, do you have such a reason? Excuse me, excuse the disturbance, we have to go. We have to make a deal with the Kanjin Kamados. I hope for your sake that your business is important and honorable. Now follow me to Kamalon. I will introduce you to Rayan, the companion of the Kuan, our leader. So this is how you... I did this, and then I was like, oh, let me undo the progress, so I can show you that I knew what I was doing. The guards lead the companions into the mountain. The dusky twilight shows more passages that penetrate to the mountain. The place must be gigantic. Greetings, why don't we get visitors and come along? Explain the reason for your presence. Come right to the point. As you wish, we've come to propose a business deal to you. We are willing to pay up you a large amount of gold to learn of a certain aspect of your magical knowledge. It concerns the knowledge of how great amounts of energy can be harnessed. You want the high knowledge. You have the ignorance to ask us about a core area of our magical knowledge? That is correct. You have asked for openness. We have an important mission to carry out. We're never concerned about our visitors' motives. You are right. Your openness is remarkable. Before I refuse precipitously, that's a word. I'll have to discuss this matter with the coin, our chief. I'll have you brought to the guest quarters. You may move freely in the part of Camelon, the area of the novices and slaves. Do not try to penetrate other areas. I will let you know our decision shortly. The group is led through our long passages and halls into a spacious room. The Kenjan's reaction was more positive than I expected. At least he didn't immediately throw us out, put us in chains. Believe me, I'm sure that you are planning something we don't like. The Kenjan will never get away with the high knowledge. There's probably nothing else for us to do to remain alert and wait. Let's look around a little. The more we can learn about this place, the better. I'll let you know where we are from time to time. Camelon is very large. Almost the entire mountain was excavated using slaves and magic. So yeah, that is sort of the gist of how I've been kind of vibing through this game. I will say that some of the actual progression, as this is a more old school game, is very strenuous at times. The law of the Kendrick Cumulus requires that I be hospitable, but please be brief. I am a warrior. What else do you want? Do you expect of this place? He is our leader, our hardest druid, and the highest emanation of the embodiment of our god, the eternal Camelos. Just ask our ceremony master. Well, yeah, we are the foot soldiers of the body. We fight with our physical strength and skill. We kill without weapons, but not with magic. We are the Kalido. Okay. Bye-bye. Farewell. Oh, hello. Yesterday I had to read a fire spell from the spell scroll. A fantastic experience. The spell scrolls allow you to understand a person to perform spells he hasn't mastered yet. So yeah, this is a game where you have to be really anal about what you're... A room for novices. To burn an opponent to the fire of my spirit is the purest form of Camel's variation. Excuse me. I don't know what I should discuss with visitors. Goodbye. And, you know, how big is this place? I don't know what to discuss. Goodbye. The stairs behind the door lead to the living areas of the trained Cleto Camelos and Aquilo Camelos. We have no access here. Okay. In the hall. That some of the progression is indeed hidden behind more archaic, like you have to really dig deep. Study magic is my life's work. I can finally fight for the honor of Camelos in spite of my weak body. We have some very talented novices this year. Training is proceeding well. Kamos will be content. I recently learned the first combat spell. What a wonderful feeling to sense the energy flowing through my spirit. I adore Battlemaster Corian. He has body control like no other. Yoink. What is this? Heavy short sword. Let's take a look at that. Damage 10. Oh. Neato. Alright. I am happy to have driven out of the slave quarters and into the ranks of the novices. Man, is this just a huge trap? There we go. May Kamos light your way with honor, stranger. You are the guest of the Kenjin Kamalos. My name is Kurion. I am the Battle Master. How can I help you, strangers? Only ask if you seek honor. Usually the Koyan is a Aquilo. We, Cleto, have no difficulties with this, because the Aquilo have the strongest spirits. He is chosen by the High Priest, and rules until his death. Our last clan, Kwan, was killed by the cowardly murderer Kwanog. During the holy sleep of Kamalos, Kwanog was one of the Quan Swan's two companions, and as such, also a high priest. He wanted to be chosen a Quan himself, but we found out about his guilt before he came out to that. Kwanog fled. The new Quan is Cherion, the other companion of the old Quan. A lot of words. Oh boy. For example, women are only second stage beings, at the most. Oh boy. I don't know if that's a sexism or not. And there can hardly be anything more beautiful than to give up your life for the one you love. A Patroclus did for Achilles. I don't know. I know of Achilles. I don't know of Patroclus. Honor is the essence of life, the only thing that remains on this side of existence. Think of Achilles and Patroclus. How did they become the subject matter of immortal poetry? Because they had their honor higher than their life, which the rich Croesus is known only as a laughable figure. Therefore, we can a man lose outside of his honor. It must be protected better than anything else, gold, family, or his own life. But you can achieve honor only if you are proud enough to conquer your fear. Family. Everyone in the order is my brother. No one has sisters here. I rejected my parents when I became a Kanjin, for they are only of the second stage. No sisters here, brothers. For example, women are, again, that, and at most, and there hardly be anything more beautiful. Okay, that again. Okay. Fear. If you never feel fear, then you cannot become a warrior, for you lack the most important property of a warrior spirit. Therefore, our most fearful members also stand in the highest regard, provided they can overcome this fear. And only the most fearful can be Aquilo, because they have the greatest courage, which gives them the mightiest spirit, and the spirit is the sharpest weapon. Okay, courage. If you never felt fear, okay, read that again. My god is Cumulus, the god of war, the god of the courageous. Oops. I cannot say anything about this. God. Weapons. Only we Cleto fight with hand weapons. There are 5 categories of combat, from stabbing weapons through one-handed swords to long-distant weapons and two-handed swords. The highest and most difficult type at the end of the training is unarmed combat. We use shield only as a symbol of protection by honor, not as protection in battle. And why? We fight for our honor, not for our survival. The shield is bestowed at the time of ordination, and the Quan is carried on his shield, and New Year by the High Priest. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a little bit of course, that depends on whether you are training for Cleto or Aquilo. Cleto or Aquilo. This whole honor system, a little bit not great. Okay, we read that one already. Honor is disciplined spirit. If you understand what I mean, many have spirit, but not everyone can master it. With all of its dark aspects, and even fewer have the honor and glory that is needed. The greatest spirit also casts the greatest shadow, fear. Pride. For us, pride is a means of training. In the state of Archorn, the Kenjant no longer needs pride, even if he has it. We use and promote it to conquer fear. Pride is one of the spirit's weapons against fear. In the Archorn, you no longer need such a weapon, since fear has already been fully conquered and the spirit no longer requires weapons. Battle is not won to preserve one's life, but for the highest honor of the warrior. The Quoyon and Argold Camelos. See, that is a very different perspective of like what a majority of people would probably put above. More people would probably be on the side of we care more about our lives than honor at this moment. I think that is not a controversial thing to say. You should ask the Magic Master for his opinion. Who's the Magic Master? Our Ceremony Master probably knows more about it than I do. It might be sufficient for you to know that this is the New Year's feast. At the end of the year, Camelos is tired from fighting a year's worth of battles, and he rests for a long day so that he can begin the new year strengthened by the blood of honor. The order rests on the day as the Quoyon falls into the great sleep, as Camelos, one of which of blood and honor, will awaken him. This is the most important ritual. Oh my god, what am I reading? The Avatar? What am I reading? Zuko here? Honor, honor, honor! God damn it. Although I do know a bit about the subject, our Ceremony Master may be more capable of answering your questions. Cleto. That is the first stage of a warrior after novice. You can earn yourself a great reward if you were to find out his whereabouts. That would be an excellent job for our assassin, one of our assassins. Kenjant. I cannot say anything about that. Skip. Glory does not live for itself. It is part of a whole. As the fruit needs the tree from which it grows, so does glory need honor. And the greater the honor, the greater the glory. However, it is only the reward. It must not be the goal. The goal is honor, just as the tree lives only to produce more fruits. Huh. So they're distinguishing glory from honor, and I don't know how I would split those two apart necessarily. I'm guessing, like, glory is like the after effect of honor, question mark? Is a part of a whole. Or maybe honor is the core, and glory is like what you do to pursue it, because it says it is part of it, right? I'm a little confused. The greater the honor, or the greater the honor, so they're putting that first, the greater the glory here on that sentence. So are they interchangeable? I'm a little confused about what the distinction they're trying to make there. I'm gonna be a little honest there. Death. Death in battle is the highest goal in my life. To die in battle against Kuganag, that would be like a dream come true. But the Master of Ceremonies knows much more about that. Blood of honor. For a Kenjant, it is the highest honor to leave his life on the occasion of the new year. It is the day before the war god sleeps, and with that hymn come the Quan falls into the deepest trance. The Quan cannot be awakened until he is washed from the blood of a Kenjant who has honorably fallen, and who had at least priest status. For this purpose, at the winter solstice, the oldest priest may challenge one of the high priests to a duel to the death. Then it is blood of the one fallen in the highest conceivable honor which brings back the war god in the new year. Fortunate are those who die this way. Oh, so it's like a cult. This group is a cult. I'm not, yeah. There are the ceremony master, the magic master, the Quan's two companions, and I, the combat master. Battle! Combat is our prayer. This is a religious cult. Look at that. Our sacrifice to Kamlos. He does not count the riches that one accumulates, nor the number of children. He counts the scars which one gains in honorable combat. He grants the courage one learns, and gains the bravest of the around him to be day of decision, the last battle. Last battle. The last test. The last battle for eternal honor. Okay. The battle between courage and cowardice. Men and weaklings. Hopefully I will stand on the right side with the Kenjant. Assassins. Young Cleto or Aquilo, who have not reached priest status, have to prove themselves in battle before their ordination. Unfortunately, it is not that simple to find worthy opponents. Opponents who accept combat in the rules of the Kenjant, however, the priest accept orders for a substantial payment. Since this type of money serves the higher honor of God, the combat that is needed to fulfill the order is also considered honorable. We call these young warriors assassins. Artorn is the state in which fear is completely converted into concentration and non-consciousness. That is a bit difficult. The fear should not become unconscious. It should lead to an independent alertness, such as cats possess. They do not have to see the danger in order to react to it. They are cold and without compassion for themselves or their opponents. They are not necessarily strong, and they do have fear, but they still are the most dangerous opponents one can imagine. They are what a Kenjant and Arthorn is. Okay. So, we are in a cult. A religious cult. Got it. Blood and honor. This is a prayer room. Greetings, strangers. The Magic Master. Usually the Quarian is an Aquilo. The Quilido accept this because we Aquilo are more fearful and thus have the greater spirits. The Quarian is chosen by the High Priest and rules until his death. Our last Quarian was killed by the cowardly murderer, Quaganag, during the holy sleep of Kamalos. Quaganag was one of the most Quarian's true companions, and as such, also a High Priest. He wanted to be chosen as a Quarian himself, but we found out about his guilt before it came to that. Quaganag fled. The new Quarian is Curion, the other companion of the old Quarian. Oh geez, this is a lot of info dumping. Shrine. The shrine is located in the lower stories. The entrance is to the south gates, but you won't get in there. No impure one will ever get through. As a druid, you need no material weapons. If you ignore the knife, only needs in daily life. An Aquilo may never use it in battle. His weapon is the spirit, the pure overwhelming of his fear, the separation of his thoughts from his body. His means is his concentration. The status of Aquilo is reached via 2 stages. First, you can control simple things using self-hypnosis and be completely insensitive to pain. Then the novice learns combat magic, the highest stage of which is defensive magic. When he is conquered all of this, he becomes a priest. Only as a priest is he ordained into the secrets of conjuring demons and equipping weapons with magical capabilities. Jesus Christ. Magic. Magic, as you call it, is nothing other than the highest emanation of the human spirit. The greatest power also arises from the greatest fear, through the greatest spirit. This is how magic creates things from nothing, but these things are nothing more than altered force. Magic, therefore, is nothing more than the art of converting one's own spiritual force into matter. It is really simple for those who have learned it. A really deep lesson here, I guess. The spirit controls the flesh. The flesh forces a person to cowardice. The flesh urges the man to the woman. I mean, okay, that's a weird sentence. The spirit is the pride of the soul. Spirit is the only thing that can create the courage of the flesh. And only the courage of the flesh can create the glory of the warrior. Man, I don't want to be in this cult any longer than I have to be. This is crazy shit. The Quilido maintain the pride is only used for training, something that drives the novices on their way to Ortorn. But in that case, they only mean the superficial pride of the flesh. However, the pride of the soul is the spirit. Therefore, the Quarian, who has the greatest spirit, is also the proudest Kenjant. He has overcome all fear through his proud soul. This is his sharpest weapon in battle. True pride is not shown by sensitivity of the soul, but by the sharpness of his spirit. The weak of spirit. Kenjant, yes. The Kenjant whose spirit is too weak to feel fear, they need swords in battle, and the Aquilo use only their spirit to fight. Weapons. The Quilido use weapons, but you better ask a sword master about that. The Aquilo are trained to use only their spirit. Actually, that depends on whether you are trained as Cleto or Aquilo. You better ask the Swordmaster that, okay? You have earned yourself a great reward if you find out his whereabouts. This would be an excellent job for one of our assassins. Herp-a-derp-a-derp. Our ceremony master probably knows more about it than I do. It might be sufficient for you to know that his is our New Year's feast. At the end of the year, Camelos is tired from fighting a year's worth of battles. Yep, we know that already. Who are you? I asked. Rituals. I do know something about that, but our ceremony master is really the one you want to ask those questions to. Impure one. Actually, everyone knows who is not a Kenjint is impure. However, since there may be a Kenjint hiding unknowingly within every man, so a Kenjint isn't... Okay, this is getting weird. There may be a Kenjint hiding unknowingly within every man, so I'm assuming like Kenjint is referring to a sin of sorts. A man may become pure by his honorable death. For a man, it is hard to figure out who is pure, since purity is expressed by deep understanding of the eternal laws of Camelos and at the time of death. But Camelos knows he gathers the pure dead around his table. And I do apologize for the noise that you're probably my sensitive mic is picking up. Can't do anything about it, unfortunately. A difficult subject with our order. There are some Kenjin to whom I do not count myself, who think that the flesh is an emotional emanation of the spirit which wishes to make its existence visible. I believe, as most Kenjin, that flesh and spirit mutually depend on each other, not just the flesh from the spirit, but also the spirit from the flesh, since flesh decays when it is no longer has spirit. Thus, also the spirit decays when it no longer knows the changes of the flesh. When the spirit has no longer overcome the fear of the flesh, then it becomes flaccid as the body, which is no longer has anything to bear without the flesh. Nothing. I can't read the rest of that. They are myself, the ceremony master. Blah blah blah. Fear is the drive to overcome it. Fear is the result of an impure birth. Fear is a warrior's task. Whoever conquers fear conquers his birth. Okay. Which is the result of an impure culmination. He conquers flesh by the spirit and death by honor. For death it is inevitable for the impure body, but pure spirit... Oh god, get me the fuck out of here, please. Whoever places his flesh in the service of the spirit becomes a warrior. Okay? Fame. Glory is the result of learning. Whoever strives for glory without striving to control the spirit will fail miserably. He will not be granted honor or friendship at the end. His glory will diminish, for Camelos will reject him. Is the name of our god. Okay. I could tell you a lot about that, but the ceremony master is more equipped. I cannot say anything about that. Demons are materialized fears and are the most difficult magical achievement. You must let your fear flow completely through your spirit without becoming overcome by it. The spirit must consist almost completely of fear. Without losing control, it must become the great vessel for fear. And then, when the vessel is feared to the bursting point, then he must materialize the fear. At his end, the victim of such a demon will be awestruck as he feels the fear which the Aquilo had to endure when he created the demon. He will understand that he has become the victim of something greater, a victim of fear which the Aquilo has controlled, and so he will accept his his death as something he deserves. This is all leading to death, baby. Fear is the drive to overcome it, blah blah blah. Guild Arthur, he's the most respected Aquilo. Okay. Highest honor. The Swordmasters speak of our combat as the prayer of the Kenjit naturally. Oh god. About that, and ultimately it is our business. If those who call themselves the Enlightened Ones were really so enlightened, then they would be understood and support his arrangement, because it makes a big difference to us whether the so-called victims, about whom so much is said, are killed honorably by one of us, or killed like a mad dog by low murderers. When we accept these assignments, we give the destined victims an opportunity to die in honor. They'll thank us when they are guests at Camillus' table. Honor! We all know about that, so there you go. Okay. Whew. What about you, older man? Are you going to also prattle on and on and on? Nothing. Rituals? We have no rituals. We have ceremonies. Okay, the difference between rituals and ceremonies. Okay. I know that many in the Order speak of rituals, supposedly even the same as the High Priest. They overlook the fact that we honor a god who lives, and so lives, which must be a dead ritual for others who worship a dead god. Camillus lives, and if one of us dies for him, it is not a ritual. He who is sacrificed takes a place at Camillus' table, and there is no more honorable place that which is set a New Year's Day. So that place is like Valhalla, but slightly altered. The sleep of Camillus at the winter solstice, when the warrior sits beside his fire and forges plans for the spring. The Camillus also set rests from the year efforts, and only when one who was slain honorably knocks at his door and asks to be admitted and allowed to participate in Camillus' table, only then will we be awakened. Then the clan falls into a day-long sleep, from which he awakens only when he is rubbed with the blood of who is slain honorably. Is our magic master, and one of the best there ever was. Death is overcoming life. The death which is accepted consciously is free of anything threatening, and only when death has lost all threat can life begin. Many of our ceremonies are centered around this theme. Many of our ceremonies are battles in which the warriors compete to get to the greatest danger, to feel the greatest fear, and to overcome it by consciously choosing death on the new year. For example, when the oldest priest fights against his guildmaster, you should see the joy of the Kensing's face when he gives his life so that he can live. Koyon. Usually the Koyon is an Aquilo. The Cleto accept this. Because we Aquilo are more fearful and thus have more. Oh god, get me out of here! I don't care anymore. This is ridiculous. What about you? You got more nonsense to spew at me? A druid. I'm good. I'm good. And I'm guessing that statue is an effigy of sorts to this god. Oh boy. Alright, let's look down here. Nothing out of the ordinary there. What about you? I got to show you. Farewell. What a life. Life for death, death for life. Blup, blup, blup. Honor! A doop doop doo doo doo. Yeah, this place is big. Good night. Which I am sure you will find interesting. As you know, I believe the Kenjin Kumlos will never voluntarily release the high knowledge, therefore we will have to get it without their permission. Back when I was a novice, I learned about a cell which allows access to a corridor which leads to the inner regions. With some luck, I will find the room where, among other things, recordings of the highest knowledge are stored. What do you think? Sure. Here it is. There's a hidden switch somewhere. A small lever is mounted in the flame bowl. Oh! Alright, we can reach the inner areas through the secret passage. Alright, that one wasn't that hard to figure out. Secrets! Let's go. What are you doing here? Alarm! Ah, Jesus. Ah, fuck. You have tried to desecrate the inner areas of Kamalon. Do you surrender? Fuck nah. Oh jeez, this is probably a really bad idea, guys. I probably should have saved it, but... oh boy. boy. Did I not get any potions for here? Oh man, this is not great. I don't think I was ready for this. And this is what I'm... Oh, well, this is like a level of escalation thing on top of that. Like, these guys are, like, clearly very strong. Oh, jeez. Yeah, nothing is being done here. This sucks. God damn it. Ugh. That's very frustrating. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? This area doesn't even have healing potions, and I don't want to... Ugh. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright. I apologize for everyone who had to sit through all that nonsense. Like, man, saving often is so vital in a moment like that, and I wasn't even considering it for whatever reason. What a shit show. And I am legitimately curious if I had said yes, or or had gone to the left, if either of those two options would have changed anything. A-do-do-do-do-do. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's save it here. Now, if I immediately head off to the left and just do that thing, will that constitute the same progression block that we got there? Let's find out real quick. Do I have to talk to the other guy first, or the other people first? What a huge box. Oh boy, what a falling out, boys. I guess we have no choice. Run through all that dialogue again. Okay, go through all this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Magic and honor, honor and magic, death, death, death. Pride and honor, honor and pride. Exhausting dialogue, oh boy. Whoo-wee. I can't believe I went through all that and didn't think to save it after all that nonsense. Whoops. My bad, everyone. Okay, let's go ahead and save it after that discussion. And then there was this guy. Blah, 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 more magic, more death, more honor. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, save after talking to that guy. Okay. And then that's when we went back to the left after talking to these guys. Let's pick up the sword again. Shoo. Again, I do apologize for this, but I don't know if, like, what accessed that progression, so I'm just sort of going through the motions of what I did, but trying to speed through it as much as I conceivably can. Obviously, these guys had a lot to say about all this stuff, so... Blah blah blah. Going from the top down seems to be moving me faster through these dialogue steps without him going, "Well, I can't tell you about that one." Damn it. I can't tell you about that one. Okay, we talked to that guy. Let's save it again. Being a lot more cautious this time around instead of careless and just thinking I could progress the game easily. I should never have had that mindset in the first place. For some reason I did. Alright, so let's go back to the left, because I went to the left after I talked to those 3 individuals in particular, so that is when the thing came up, so I am assuming that is when it will come up again, question mark. No, nothing. When and where was it when he was like, oh, the thing about I forgot or whatever? Wasn't it when I was about here that he said something like that? trying to remember if I did anything else. I should have just said no and saved it, man. Oh, it's just, Okay, let's save it here then. Let's save it on the 2, though. Okay. Let's check the left. No, nothing. So is that it? If I can't beat these guys or give up, that's just the end? Alarm! Well, let's see what happens if I give up. We're running through all the options here. Sure. Take the gold from the companions which they wanted to use to pay for the high knowledge. Tom and others are roughly pushed into a damp cell. After a while, everyone has recovered. Using the secret corridor sure was a brilliant idea. In my time, the corridor wasn't watched. What do you think we should do now, apart from thinking about those exquisite torture techniques from ex-colleagues have promised us? If I may remind you, I was the one of the high-ranking contingent, and we are in a position of certain knowledge which protects us from any careless acts of our lower brothers. That includes the following. Fumbles around behind a stone arch for a long time. Do-do-do-do-do. Open the door. Good, the door isn't locked anymore, but I wonder how we can get to the High Council now. Somewhere around here, there's the patches to the facilities which are located in the front of the inner gate. Since we were caught in the shortcut, there is no other way left for us to take but the path through there. It is not without danger, but we have no other choice. First, we must get out of this dungeon passage. Door cannot be lockpicked. As quickly replaced by rage as they rush toward the former captives. Is that a gun? Ah! much damage did he do? A bolt thrower is what he used on me. Oh, fuck. Fuck! Not giving me any breaks. Oh my god. Ay, ay, ay. done. Oh yeah, this is so dangerous, man. What is this? I just gave her food, specifically so she could come back. Alright. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna put that on the #1 slot for now. I'll figure this out next time. If you ended up enjoying this part, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head over to my Discord server, the other to my Patreon page. Any donations are greatly appreciated. Until next time, everyone, bye-bye!